Good evening, everyone. It's Pepper Wolverine for another installment of 2019. Someone suggested I should call this one the Stone Cold Killer. Based upon some comments that a gentleman on Facebook, an acquaintance and a friend of mine named Roger Page made, and the subsequent reviews I looked up, specifically from the Hippy Seed Company's chocolate scorpion, I decided I had to get some seeds, so I bought some seeds from the Hippy Seed Company. I admired the video that Neil made and the comments that Roger Page made, so I grew it out for myself. Well, my plant hasn't been the most prolific plant this season. I've got about like 6 pods off of it so far, but that's enough to at least make me admire what it might have to offer, and probably earn the pepper's respect based upon what I've seen it do to other people. And I had a gentleman named by the name of Larry Croteau, probably pronouncing that wrong, recommended to me that it was a Stone Cold Killer, and it's a pretty hot pepper. So decided, like I said in my last review, that the next one I'd probably do was the chocolate scorpion from the Hippy Seed Company. So that's what I'm going to do. So I just cut that open, and cut it open about a foot away from my face, and as soon as I cut it open, I smelled something. I smelled something hot, for sure. Smelled slightly fruity and floral from a distance. Here's what we got. Cut that open. Got a relatively thin-walled pepper, decent placenta, purple brownish base in the middle, a bunch of placental tissue, some glistening walls. Other side's got quite a bit of oil hanging out. Right next to that one seed up here on the top, but right below my finger. A little bit hard to check out. The lighting's not the best, but it smells kind of earthy. The juices that were left on the knife, kind of tangy, almost like a hint of like vitamin C to them. I mean, it's a little bit interesting. So I'm hitting this against the chair just to see if 1 or 2 seeds knock out, because this is the best pepper that's on the plant out of the 4 or 5 that are there. So 2 of them fell out. They look healthy. We'll see. It's a pretty looking pepper. It's a nice chocolate. Relatively dark chocolate. Not the exact pheno you think about when you think about like a scorpion, but it's a decent size. I mean, it's a golf ball sized pepper, and it's 13.6 grams. I just weighed it before I grabbed the camera. So let's see. I'm liking the looks of that one. Outer brown color bled into the placental base. Seed base is all centrally located up right underneath the stem. It didn't really extend down the walls. Almost looks like up inside of this portion, pepper wanted to start growing inside because there's nothing on the outside in the same area, but whatever. Biting through it, it's got an enjoyable flavor. Not very floral. A little bit, but not too bad. Not too bitter. Now I'm chomping through the seeds, so let's see what happens. Already starting to attack the insides of the mouth. I'm gonna grab some hands on here. I don't have a good camera mount. Sometimes I find something, when I improvise I find something good, sometimes I don't. Today I didn't find something I truly like, so we'll just grab it and hold on to it. It's relatively floral at the moment, and I got seeds stuck everywhere. Interesting. So we're like 2 minutes into just like the initial bites, starting to attack the inside of the mouth, and it's not really isolated in any one area. It's pretty much all over the place. Catching the lips, give me the ring of fire a little bit. Chunks of pepper everywhere. Okay. It said in my last video I'd kind of chosen out the peppers, the order I was going to eat them in, assuming that they'd get progressively hotter. I'm interested to see if this gets hotter, equal to, less than, or greater than the Carbon Boot 7-pot yellow cross with a 7-pot Primo. That thing was a chocolate pod that put me to my test, that's for sure. This one's definitely attacking the outsides of the tongue, cheeks around the tongue. Maybe that's because of the way I was biting it. A little bit floral still, hasn't subsided. Not overwhelming to the point where I don't enjoy it. I'm not the biggest fan of floral peppers, but it's got a juicy backbone to it. Like a fruitiness to some of the other scorpion peppers of a different color. It's not that overtly earthy, nutty chocolate flavor that a lot of us have issues describing because of the heat level. So it's got a pretty intense heat level, but it's kind of isolating itself to the tongue and the esophagus, upper esophagus, the periphery of the mouth. It's definitely going to try to clean out the nasal passage. I can feel that now. Extremely respectable heat level, 3 to 3.5 minutes in. Tongue is burning around. Yeah, tongue's burning. Pins and needles. Starting to salivate quite a bit. So the heat level is starting to ratchet it up a little bit. It's got a mixed, earthy, tangy vitamin C flavor to it that I'm enjoying. I'm just trying to pick up on the backside of it. It's making me salivating so much that I'm having a small issue with that. So while that's kicking in, you can enjoy a 7-pot Primo and a 32-gram crack key. 7-pot brain fart over there. The brain fart because it was supposed to be a 7-pot Douglas yellow and it's not, so I don't know what happened to that 7-pot. Over here on this side is a yellow Fatale cross with a yellow brain strain. One of my favorite peppers. There's something ripe somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Get some elongated or brain strain fatale cross shapes, and then you also get some. Oh, sorry, wrong way. Some almost straight on brain strain crosses. I go for a little bit more of this one. If I want a straight up brain strain, I'll just grow a straight up brain strain. So, Mr. Roger Page told me to report back on what it does to my stomach. So I intentionally ate this on an empty stomach just to see, give me the full brunt force of what's going on. Heat level extremely respectable. I honestly expected it to be hotter. Which is not to say it's not hot. I was just ready for more. But some of that, sometimes that's mentality. Sometimes that's what you had in your system already, how much water you had to drink, adult beverages, you name it. It is the first pepper I've had today. And it's actually the first of the chocolate scorpions I've had. It's pretty darn good. I will definitely use that in chocolate smoked powder. Or just a chocolate powder. I don't necessarily have to smoke it. I could. I like smoked powders. So the heat's still climbing a little bit. It's now worked its way into the upper esophagus. It's actually getting close to my ears. A small ear ringer going on. More so on one side than the other, which is interesting. I normally get them parallel, both ears at the same time. This one's definitely attacking one side more than the other. I wonder if my nasal passages are clogged up on one side more than the other. Don't know. Definitely tons of chunks to pick out from my teeth. Might go well with dinner a little bit later. Extremely respectable heat level. There's a tangy fruitiness flavor that's overwhelmed the mouth. The floralness that subsided rather quick for a pepper of this heat level. Bitterness was surprisingly not present, even going through the seed base, which is a plus. There's definitely some very, very slight hints or nodes of earthy undertones in the very, very background, but the kind of tangy vitamin C-like flavor. It's actually pretty enjoyable. I haven't found that in too many peppers. It's pretty prevalent in this. I wonder if it had to do with what's in my soil, meaning what I fed it with, which everything's organic, and most of it was down-to-earth nutrients. It's anything that's in ground. I kept everything organic this season and did mostly no-till, so everything was top-added last fall and spring. Lightly mixed into the top maybe inch, but I didn't till. I left it as is, so. For chocolate pepper, which is not necessarily my favorite colored pepper in general for super hots, it's a pretty enjoyable pepper. It's definitely hot. I put it on the pepper Wolverine scale somewhere up around like 8 3/4, 9-ish. I thought it was going to be a little bit hotter than that. definitely enjoyable though. Neil Smith, this is an awesome pepper. Roger, I'm glad you helped entice me to grow it along with Neil's video. Wish my pepper plant had more peppers on it. I mean, the pepper plant's only like 17 inches tall, 18 inches tall. That one and a couple others haven't fared very well. It's going through a regrowth period and starting to blossom again, but it's probably going to be difficult for it to do anything. It maybe got 6 to 8 weeks maximum. We'll see. I hope so, because it's a good pepper. Very good heat level, pretty darn good flavor. I enjoy it. It's a beautiful day here in Willowbrook, Illinois, with Pepper Wolverine on this 5th day of September. And it feels like the 5th day of October, not September. So we'll see what happens. There should be plenty more peppers to chomp on and do a review of. I hope you guys have found this valuable, enjoyable. And if not, let me know what I could provide informationally to make it better or different or more enjoyable. And hope you like it, and we'll do it again soon. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye.